My mom was dying and her best friend was sleeping with my dad. I remember the exact day everything snapped. My mom got told there was a tumor in her brain. Same day, she found out my dad was fucking her best friend. Not a rumor, not a misunderstanding, straight up betrayal. I was a kid, but I can still hear the sound of her crying in the kitchen. After that, it was 5 weeks of chaos. Hospital lights, seizures, fake apologies. My dad and Haley showing up like a tag team, begging my mom to forgive them while she could barely stand. 5 weeks and 2 days after diagnosis, my mom was gone. They buried her and moved in together like they had been waiting for the starter pistol. They decided they would raise me and my sister. I decided I would not make that easy. You want to play house on my mother's grave? Then you can hear me every single day. I told neighbors. I told their friends. If someone smiled at them in a grocery line, I would say it right there. That is my dad. That is my mom's best friend. They were sleeping together while my mom was dying. Watch their faces drop. I cut my dad out of photos. I told him I was changing my last name to my mom's. I told anyone who asked that the man I want to be like is my grandpa, the one who actually shows up. Haley tried to slide into the word mom like it was a comfy sweater. She would introduce me as her oldest like we were some cute blended family. I never let that land. The second she tried to take credit for anything good I did, I would say it again. You were supposed to be my mom's best friend. You stabbed her in the back and slept with her husband. People get quiet when I say it, which is fine. Silence makes the truth loud. They dragged us to therapy. I sat there with my arms crossed and stared at the carpet. They got married and I interrupted. I talked over vows. I refused to help with their babies. I did not hold bottles or fetch diapers. I did not pretend. If that makes me the asshole, then cool. Pin the badge on me. I sleep better with honesty than I ever will with their version of peace. Last week, Haley's aunt died. She told me I needed to help out more since she would be with her mom and cousins. Like I owed her extra because grief was back in the house. I told her no. She tried that tone like we have a family system. She said this is what the oldest child does. I said I am not your child. I belong to the woman you betrayed. Her face cracked and she started crying. She said she already feels guilty, that my mom haunts her. She said I am bullying her, that I am driving her crazy, that she cannot make friends without worrying I will tell them what she did. She said I should go after my dad, not her. I said I will go after both. I said I will keep telling the truth until I'm old enough to leave and delete your numbers. She begged me to stop, to think of her kids with my dad because they will suffer when people judge her. She tried to make me responsible for how strangers see her. She tried to make me care about the comfort that cost my mom her peace. I looked at her and felt nothing but heat. You do not get to burn down my family and then ask me to shut the windows so no one sees the smoke. My aunt showed up after Haley called her. She pulled me aside and told me to drop it for the sake of the little ones. She said forgiveness is not required, but shame is cruel. She said I am making it hard for Haley to have relationships where people will not know. I said that is the point. People should know who they are standing next to. People should know what kind of mother you become when you crawl into your best friend's husband's bed while she is scheduling brain scans. Haley stood there red-eyed, whispering that she is trying to be better. She reached for my arm like she could soften it. I pulled back. I told her I am not your redemption arc. I am not your second chance. I am the reminder. Every time you try to wear the word mom around me, I will peel it off. Every time you reach for my good work, I will slap your hand away. Tell your friends, tell the neighbors, tell the kids when they are old enough to ask why their brother looks at you like that. She said please. I said no. Then I leaned in so only she could hear it. You chose your happiness over my mother's last weeks. You do not get a quiet life from me. You do not get my help. You do not get my silence.